Weekends are meant to be enjoyed, and great food and fun are part of the plan. At the Fairway Restaurant and Bar in Evanston, located at the Purple Sage Golf Course, you will find the perfect place to eat, relax, and unwind. Enjoy a cocktail and a meal worth slowing down for. Open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with a wide variety of delicious cuisines. Dig into their fresh soup and salad bar, or make your weekend complete with their mouth-watering prime rib every Friday and Saturday night. If you're making your way through Evanston, make your way into Fairway Restaurant and Bar. Great food, great atmosphere, where Evanston comes to eat.
Rodeo kids, FRK, raised on grit and bales of hay, riding hoverboard.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the MLR Show presented by the Fairway Restaurant and Bar in Evanston, Wyoming. I'm Elon Olive. Honored to be joined today by our panel. We have the owner of MLR Productions, Matt Petrie.
Hello, all.
The voice of District 9 Rodeo, Sean Couric.
Hey, how's it going?
And one of the voices of the UHSRA, Mr. Blaine Myers.
What's up?
All right, well, it is going to be a fun show. We're talking all about the national finals that just wrapped up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and what a national finals it was. So many things to talk about. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the bareback riding. A young sophomore that, Matt, we saw at our very first Intermountain Icebreaker. He won a whole pile of junior high awards in the rough stock. I think he might have even came in as the reserve all-around champion that year, Dakota Peterson, at our first Intermountain Icebreaker. Of course, we're talking about Ryder Wallace. What a season he's had. Only a sophomore, and he can already say he's the reserve champ of the world.
Yeah, I mean, Bareback had some surprises this year. Didn't go the way that I thought it was going to, but man, Ryder came out and had a heck of a week.
Ryder won it. I tell you what, though, the young man that did win it out of South Dakota, I'm gonna look up his name to make sure I get it right, but you guys know who who I'm talking about. The fun thing about watching the NFR for us this year was we know our Utah kids, we know our Idaho kids, we know some of the Wyoming kids as well. But getting introduced to this new group from other states, I tell you what, that was so much fun to watch. And in the bareback riding, of course, we're talking about Hayden Weezer out of North Dakota. He's your world champion. He is going to be one to keep an eye on.
I think in all the bronc riding, you got to watch out for North Dakota. I mean, they placed really well this year, both the bareback and the bronc riding. So they've got something rolling up there.
Playing a name you and I saw at the Intermountain Icebreaker win it all, Braylon Johnson, the reigning world champion from Arizona. He's only a junior, so he's going to get another crack at it this coming season. Every time we watch that kid ride, the first thought I have is, man, he is going to be in Vegas one day.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we thought, and we kind of talked about that at the Icebreaker when he came out and rode. He just seemed so effortless when he rode.
Of course, let's go ahead and take it back to our local boy, Ryder Wallace, Sean. We saw him at the state finals. We talked about last week how he didn't get the first go-around win, but you could tell he's building something. By the time we got to the short go, he was in the driver's seat, and he absolutely took care of business. He only he's really not that far off the pace of being a world champion in the future.
No, he's not. It's if you look at the way he's competed the last couple years, he's done an excellent job, and this is a kid we're going to watch, or cowboy, that we're going to watch for a long time.
Another two names that ended up in the top 10, ones that we've covered before. Wyoming's Trenton Rogers and Keon Norris finished 9th and 10th in the world. Matt, we've seen them when we would go help out with the Casper Rodeo. And, Wyoming bronc riding, they're starting to build something special there.
They are. It got their numbers got really low there for a few years, but it seems like they're coming back now. And obviously, placing top 10 in the world is nothing to shake a hat at.
No, not at all. Before we continue to our next event, let's go ahead and talk about one of the first events that was awarded, and that was the new National High School Rodeo Queen. It's not going to be from Utah this year, but it is from this part of the country in Wyoming, out of not very far from me and Matt, actually, over in Kemmer, just only about 40 minutes down the road.
Yeah, I mean Utah had a run there, but it's exciting to see a girl from our home state step up and represent the National High School Rodeo Association for the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. In the Queen contest, it's Taylor Toman from Kemmer, Wyoming. She takes the win. Down in seventh is Genevieve Graham from Utah. Fifth was Sarah Brackett from Idaho. So those three states all placing in that top 10. That's something to be really, really proud of. So it'll be really interesting to see how how many times we get exposed to our new national rodeo queen. We're used to her being at the UHSRA rodeos, but it's going to be really interesting to see how many she can make uh, for icebreaker and things of that nature. All right, let's go ahead and go to an event that I'm just gonna call it. Sean Currick called the right last name, maybe not the right sibling, but it's got to be one of my favorite stories of the national finals. Of course, we're talking about Caleb Tree. Matt, we saw him in the short go at state finals. When that last calf got away, you saw how devastated he was. And we talked about it. That's going to light a fire under him. And I tell you what, Sean, he went out and as a freshman is your world champion right from right here in Utah.
We talked about this, and he kind of got upset at Utah. It's just got bumped barely out of that number one spot. Had a bad day on his short go, but he came back and said, "You know what? I made it to nationals. I'm going to prove that I am a tree."
Absolutely. Matt, him, Audrey, all those those tree family out in that St. Pete area. I mean, it's almost not a surprise that they brought home a world title.
No, it's not. Caleb's that good, and the state finals he decided to go after a third cow and didn't work out for him, obviously. But he came back like Sean said and made good for it. But that was interesting. Wesley Zebarth was right behind him.
Yeah, Utah and Idaho going 1-2 in that one, so that was really, really cool. Blaine, you watched some of the cutting with us at the state finals. You saw Caleb work, and you can just tell the relationship he has with this horse. I mean, you don't win a world championship by having a typical relationship with your animal. You've really got to be lockstep and really two halves of the same brain, it seems like.
Exactly. Especially, talking about the cutting, you got to be in sync with your horse. And man, he really showed out when he had to at the finals.
Yeah, and I remember he came into the short go, I think fourth or fifth, and he had an amazing final round that just vaulted him up. Sean, can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Well, so I actually wasn't able to watch his runs, uh, but really what happened is he was a little bit. If you watched the standings as he went throughout the week, he did not start off the best, but it was the end, that last short go round that popped him right up there. Because I'm not sure if you guys were like me all through this last week. Every spare moment I got, I couldn't really watch a lot because it was really busy, but I was looking at results and standings going, okay, and part of me, I'll be honest, I'm like, when are they going to update? When are they going to update? When are they going to update? And as soon as I saw as he was bumping up, and I think I pulled it Saturday morning on the boys cutting, and I went, "Oh, Caleb made it. He is the top." And so to me, it was like, "This is awesome. It's great to watch that."
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, any final comments on the cutting before we move on to probably well, we'll move on to one story and then we'll move on to the two biggest stories coming out of the national finals for Utah.
You know what? It was fun to watch. Caleb, young kid, obviously a freshman, for him to rebound the way he did and do what he did at nationals. The kid's got a bright future beyond high school, even.
That's the thing that I don't think he's getting enough credit for is how young he is and how quickly he was able to get right mentally and go into the biggest rodeo, biggest cutting competition of his life. I mean, they talked about it a lot about how just talented he is and how good he is and how young he is. But you and I, Matt and Blaine, we saw the start of his mental toughness. He had to dump what happened at state finals. He was upset. He was devastated, as you would expect someone to be, because I think he fully had a goal to win 4 straight state titles, and he came in as the number one guy. But just the maturity and the way he handled that opposition is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, it really was. And like I said, bright future even beyond high school for him.
Absolutely. All right. We don't cover Wyoming anymore, but we would be remiss if we didn't mention Hadley Thompson is the goat tying champion again, and she had to put on a run. It was interesting. On Saturday, I had my phone on one arena, I had my TV on another arena, and I was going back and forth because I wanted to make sure I watched the saddle bronc and the steer wrestling for sure, and the tie down roping. But I was kind of going back and forth. I saw the instant replay of Hadley's run, but she had to put a blister up there because she was being chased by the person who won it the year before. So it was either going to be someone won the last 2 out of 3, or Hadley Thompson was going to win the next two. And Hadley went down and kind of put her foot down and said, "No, I'm taking this one, and it's going home with me."
Yeah, there was a ton of sixes this week in there, and it wasn't a for sure thing till that final go, I think, for Hadley. So, good for her for sticking it out. But man, those girls were fast this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you what, I got to watch. I'm like Sean, just kind of, I would come in and out when I had a chance, but I saw Wacy Trujillo run a couple of times, and man, she, she was outstanding. And I can only imagine how, the the top five felt whenever they were going, and if they were ever safe with a 6-second run.
Wacy Trujillo had a crazy good final. She came in second in the all around to Brady Burdett out of California. But it was a close competition. Hadley Thompson was third. Ellie Thompson, our own, she finished top five. So she had a really good national finals in the all around category. You know she'll be back at least one more year. So that's something to be excited about. All right. Let's go
One second.
ahead
Don't
and
jump
go
off the
to
goat yet.
what was that?
Don't jump off the goat yet.
All right, let's hear it. I know where you're going.
So, I mean, you look at Ellie Thompson, she was still in the top 9, but Kinley Coons, the freshman, he is in the top 10 as well. We wanted to see Sadie. We wanted to see that trifecta of the Cowgirls we've been talking about for 2 years come together. Unfortunately, Sadie on that first day, the pig and string falling right out of her mouth, and she's missing it. But Kinsley Coons, her freshman year, sitting number 9. I think she was 2.5 seconds off the top. So, I mean, 3 years to improve. I think we've got a good chance. And Ellie, once again, like you said, she's coming back next year. So we're going to see Ellie coming back for that hard competition.
You also have to talk about Ramey Hicks out of Wyoming. What a jump she made in just outside the top 10. Cabri Couture, that was a name that we've seen before. We wonder where she went. She went and rodeoed in Arizona this year. The Enterprise Utah Cowgirl. She ends up being top 15 in the world. And then it just kind of snowballed. And then, of course, you got Blue Butler sitting in the top 20 as well from Wyoming. So, Matt, a lot of names that we've seen. And quite frankly, I really, 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 really want to see Wacy Trujillo at the Intermountain Icebreaker if she's still in high school.
Yeah, I want to see a lot of these kids that we saw in the last week. It's not far away for a lot of them to start out the spring season there. So, here's an invitation. Come on up. We want
Yeah.
to see you.
Yeah. All right. Let's move to the saddle bronc riding. Matt, we watched this young man in Blaine all season thinking, okay, he's got the state title pretty much wrapped up in his mind. He is training for Lincoln. And when the chips were down and it was time to go, Trig Madsen's final margin of victory for the world championship is a staggering 12 points. In 3 head, he wins by over 12 points. Matter of fact, on the last bronc, he actually got a rewrite option because the bronc came out backwards and he didn't need it. He already had won the world at that point. That tells you how far ahead he was of everybody. And we knew it. He was lapping the field in Utah, and we knew that he was going to be a strong championship contender for the world. I did not I knew he was going to be very, very good in top two, top three. I did not, in my mind, think he's going to lap the entire world. He's not just lapping Utah. I mean, 12 points in a three-head rodeo. That's you are dominating from top to bottom.
Yeah, I want to hear from Blaine on this one because you actually got to see him more than I did this year. But amazing run for Trig.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that just you can put him on anything and he's going to ride it. And I mean, I was trying to get on the rodeo when we were on the text chain, and Elon couldn't quit texting. He was like a madman that night. Um, but Sean might, he said he didn't have the greatest horse, came out backwards. I wasn't able to see the ride. I just missed it, but man, he's incredible. It's going to be, he'll go off on his mission and everything, but when he comes back, hopefully he comes back and it still has that, you know, draw to, or that draw to get on Saddle Broncs. Sometimes people go away and they don't want to come back, but he seems like he wants to.
He's made no bones about it. His goal is he wants the gold buckle. I mean, and when this kid sets a goal, he meets it. I mean, his goal was to win the world title this year, and he did it. So it's there's certain things in sports that feel inevitable. Trig Matson winning the state title felt inevitable about week 4 of the year. And then it was going into the short go of the national finals. I actually bit my nails off to the nub. I was so nervous. But as soon as he came out, and even with the horse coming out the way it did, he just looked unbothered and he just went right to work. Sean, you watched it too. So your thoughts?
Well, I'll be honest. The minute that horse nosed in to the buck and shoot, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, because that can offset a person. You look at that, that's something that can take a cowboy and go, oh, how do I reset this? But you know what? He was set and ready the whole time. The minute that horse turned around, he already had his mark out, comes down on his front hooves, and he goes to spur. And immediately he was going with a great rake at that point. And I'll tell you, and I've said it before, Trig has got great mechanics when it comes to saddle bronc riding. He knows what he's doing. It's one of those things. It's not when he comes back from his mission, it's not going to be a draw. He is right on the trail. I'm sure we're going to see a little bit of college out of him. Right back on the trail with that NFR card, or the PRCA card, and we're going to see him in the NFR within the year to 2 years of coming back from his mission.
Yeah, it's again, the kid sets a goal and he knows how to meet it. And if the bronc riding thing doesn't work out, we do know he's got a future in rodeo broadcasting, Matt.
That's true. Or kickball, professional kickball
Yeah.
broadcasting.
Yeah.
Kickball, at least.
Yeah.
Well, can we roll down to Bronson Smith? It's one of the Cowboys freshmen that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Bronson having a great, and had his foot not blown out on his ride on Saturday night, I think we would have seen him up there in the top 3 really easily. But I'm not sure if you guys were there watching, but as you're watching it, that foot blew out, and he thought, well, I'm going to D up right now. And you watch him hold up and D up to try to grip with his legs to hold on for that. He just couldn't make it. But watch Bronson Smith from here on out, freshman this year, hitting number 7. We're going to see him move on.
Well, and he hit number 7 on 2 head, which is the impressive part that I mean, he averaged 70 points per ride at his first national final. So that's nothing to sneeze at.
And winning his first go round.
Yeah, he did win the first go round. Another thing to keep an eye on, and this is a name that me and Blaine saw at the Intermountain Icebreaker, Arizona's Will James Crowley. He put on a show at the Intermountain Icebreaker, and at Nationals, he was one of those top guys as well, Blaine.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, finishing top 10 is, it's just incredible in itself. And yeah, I remember Crowley, he was really good at the Icebreaker.
Yeah. All right, so that's the saddle bronc riding. Now, this is the one I've been anxious to talk to you guys the most about. And it's not just the steer wrestling. After Saturday night, I was refreshing the NHSRA page constantly because I knew Burke was tied at the top of the all around, and they never updated it until yesterday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. And when it was all said and done, not only is Ace Austin the second steer wrestler in 3 years from Utah to win the world title following Peter Haas 2 years ago, he is also now the all-around world champion. And by the way, the runner-up by 5 points is his own brother. The top two all-around cowboys in the world in high school rodeo are from the same family in Spanish Fork. And this is a family we've worked with for a couple years. Great family. This honestly, this could not have happened to two better guys, in my opinion.
No, very, very humble family. They worked their butts off to get where they are. And I mean, whether it was Ace or Burke that won it, you had to be happy for either one.
And the thing I noticed was they were happy for each other. If it was Ace or Burke that won it, they would seem to be just as happy. The first person to get to Ace after he put down that run to seal the world steer wrestling title was Burke. So
Yeah, a good fan, you know, and you're used to seeing Oklahoma, Texas, you know, be strong in the steer wrestling. Top two from Utah, Sam Hatterley was right there. You know, he had a chance about halfway through the week. So, you know, Utah's still, I think it's got to be a top two state as far as steer wrestling right now.
I mean, Sam Hatterley was three in the world going into the short go. It was one, two, three, Utah, Utah, Utah. So there was, I mean, we said this is not a group you want to see coming, and they absolutely proved right. Um, Blaine, Ace Austin is a world champion, two-time world champion, and he's going into his senior year. What does that do? I mean, all eyes in the rodeo world are going to be on this young man in Utah this year. What is what does that do? Because you guys watched him in tie down roping. He's really coming along as a tie down roper as well. He barely lost the all around state title to Trig Madsen. He's the odds on favorite to be the all around cowboy now. I mean, you're Blaine, just go.
Yeah. Def it's how well can he come off that? And you know, is he gonna be as committed and everything else as he has been to get to where he is now, right? He won the steer wrestling and the all around. Can he back that up now? And that's kind of where, you know, he seems like the Austin seemed like the kind of family, and he seems like a young man that'll be, you know, he wants to prove it to himself and keep doing it. So they're competitors. They're humble to a point, but they are competitors, that's for sure.
The other thing we got to talk about is he did this on two events. You have Cowboys that were there in three, four events if they entered the cutting as well. And he was able to do this on just the team roping and the steer wrestling. I mean, it tells you how dominant he was all week, Sean.
Oh, exactly. It's every time you watched him, I'll be honest, I was like you the whole time I'm watching. I'm like, okay, we're that close, we're that close, we're that close, we're that close. And I'll be honest, after I watched Sam Hatterley miss, I'm like, oh, we don't have this. There's no guarantee. And because I watched the whole thing. I mean, you watch Ruger Smith go, you watch Sage Hoots, you watch Burke, and you're like, okay, Burke's got it. Burke and Sage Hoot had potentially a tie for first. It's like, okay, Ace has got his last chance here. And I'm literally doing the math right there in my head, watching it going, okay, he gets to be, I think it was like a tenth of a second slower, and he can still win it. And as soon as he hit that tenth or that time, I'm like, he's got it. I had the math done in my head. We had him won. I shouldn't say he had it won, but it's one of those things you kind of puff your chest out. I know that, cowboy.
Oh yeah. We've covered him since he was a freshman, Matt. We've covered Burke since he was a sophomore. We've covered Trigg since he was a sophomore. I mean,
It's so much fun to watch these kids. You know, we're almost into the fourth year now, watching these kids, you know, the ones that come up, the ones that were a little bit older to start, you know, they're doing well in college, and some of them are doing really well in the pros now. So it's fun to watch all these kids come up.
So
speak.
question for Matt here. You remember 2 years ago we're at Icebreaker and we watched these two, and I said, "What do you think the ride is back to home in that truck? What do you think the ride back from Nebraska was with the bragging rights with Ace?"
You know what? Bert got a saddle that said reserve all
Yeah.
around champion and a
Yeah, but it
buckle
just
as
says
well that said
reserve.
reserve world champion.
I mean, Burke's got that full ride waiting for him when he gets back to go college rodeo. So he's got a bright future there too. But I'm pretty sure Ace got the front seat on the way home.
That that's what was going to be my next question, Matt. Burke, we've talked about Ace, and all eyes are going to be on him next year. Burke is going on his 2 year mission. He's coming back. He's going to join Coach Draper at UVU. The entire Naira world is going to be watching him when he comes back.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, that whole team that Shane's building down there at UVU, there's not an event their weekend, and Burke's just going to add to that.
Oh, by the way, you're going to pair Trey Bradshaw with Burke Austin now in that steer wrestling in UVU.
Yeah, I don't want to see UVU coming to my rodeo.
No, we're actually going to go to their rodeo. We'll talk about that a little
Right.
bit later on. But all right, so this writes, and I had to double check to make sure I wasn't dreaming. But this writes an incredibly interesting story going into the season. And we're going to talk about it a little bit now, but we're going to get the juices flowing because we've got that preview show coming up for the season. Ace Austin is your world steer wrestling champion in high school. Cruz Rob just won the world shoot dogging title, and he's coming to high school. You're going to have those two going at it for a year, and they're both world champions. I mean, the hairs on my arm are standing up thinking about the steer wrestling this year. You thought last year was crazy. You do this, and then you throw in Cutter Kelly. You throw in, as we mentioned, Cruz Rob. You throw in Ivy. It's gonna get wolfy yet again, Matt.
Yeah, like I said a couple weeks ago, it's you had a 4 year run where one guy won the whole thing, and now go ahead, tell me who's going to win it this year or next year or the year after. I mean, they're so stacked in steer wrestling in Utah that it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Is it insane that we have the world champion in Utah and we're not automatically being like, oh, of course he's gonna win the state title?
No, I mean, just like pretty much any event in Utah right now, go ahead, pick a winner. I'll call you a liar, but you'll probably end up being right.
Blaine.
Yeah, saying, I mean, I'm with Matt on that. It's crazy how stacked the Utah events are. And then, yeah, I mean, the steer wrestling's just going to be crazy next year. I mean, especially if we see, all the shoot doggers that we talked about in the junior high finals moving up and are able to get off horses well and do that and just watch these guys, from the fall into the spring and see where they end. And oh, yeah. I mean, Ace has people coming for him. It's no other way about it.
Every rodeo he goes to for the rest of his career, he will have a bullseye on his back. I mean, it is a life-changing week that he just had in Lincoln, Nebraska. So just the idea that, I mean, Cutter Kelly was incredibly close to making nationals, and he would have made noise. He's made noise on the national stage before. And then you're going to add Cruz Rob, who just actually dominated the shoot dogging at the national finals. And we've been hearing he's been getting off horses. Matter of fact, I think he might be RMPRAing a little bit.
He's been getting off horses for close to 2 years now.
Yeah, so he's
Getting
gonna
ready for
be
high school.
he's gonna go right into it. And they're all chasing the newly crowned world champion.
That's cliche, right? Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be razor sharp by the time we get to Heber in June. Um, Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for this week's edition of the My Local Rodeo Show. Matt, we've got a rodeo happening Wednesday night. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Yeah, excited about it. It's was it second or third year we're going back to the UNT County Fair Youth Rodeo. Never know what you're going to see there. We saw Alex Marshall get on a mini bull there last year, his one and only mini bull ride. But we see a lot of the high school kids come up, especially in the breakaway roping. I think Sarah Walmsley threw like a 1 718 at this rodeo last year. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna see some stick horse racing and that kind of thing, but we're gonna see some pretty good upper level competition too.
And that all gets started about 5:50 p.m., 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. So myself and Matt will be there live from the Uinta County Fairgrounds in Evanston.
Weather permitting. It's supposed to move out before it's over, so we might have a little
If you
delayed
guys
start.
run into Alex Marshall there, ask him about his ranch brock ride.
I was gonna ask you about that, Sean. I thought I saw that.
Okay.
Yep, I
we
talked
got
to him
something talk
yesterday.
about.
He said it's the sorest he's ever been.
Believe that. All right. So for all of us here at MLR Productions, we have Matt Petrie, Blaine Myers, and Sean Couric. I'm Elon Off saying we'll see you later on down the road.
Fair rodeo kids, FRK, raised on grit and bales of hay, riding hoverboards past the food stand line with a rope in their teeth and a dog behind. They warm up horses like they're 10 feet tall, need a ladder just to mount, then outride them all. They are small, but tough as they come, getting run over, stomped, and they come.
Weekends are meant to be enjoyed, and great food and fun are part of the plan. At the Fairway Restaurant and Bar in Evanston, located at the Purple Sage Golf Course, you will find the perfect place to eat, relax, and unwind. Enjoy a cocktail and a meal worth slowing down for. Open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with a wide variety of delicious cuisines. Dig into their fresh soup and salad bar, or make your weekend complete with their mouth-watering prime rib every Friday and Saturday night. If you're making your way through Evanston, make your way into Fairway Restaurant and Bar. Great food, great atmosphere, where Evanston comes to eat.